$5 and a prayer. The Belmont Hotel's restaurant was the kind of place Emma had only seen in magazines. White marble columns rose toward painted ceilings. Crystal wall sconces cast a soft, golden glow across tables draped in crisp white linen. Even the air seemed expensive, carrying the faint scent of roses and something else she couldn't quite name. Money, perhaps. Emma sat at her table near the center of the room, her hands folded in her lap to hide their trembling. Her cream-colored dress was the nicest thing she owned. Bought on sale 3 years ago for a job interview. She had ironed it carefully that morning, pressing out every wrinkle, hoping it would pass for elegant. Her phone buzzed. A text from her friend Sarah. "How's it going?" "Is he there yet?" Emma glanced at the empty chair across from her. Her blind date, someone named Marcus, was now 20 minutes late. She typed back quickly. "Not yet. Still waiting." She set her phone down and reached for her purse, opening it just enough to see inside. $5. 2 crumpled bills and a handful of coins. That was all she had until Friday, when her paycheck from the bookstore would finally clear. Sarah had insisted Emma needed to start dating again. "It's been 2 years since David," Sarah had said. "You deserve to be happy. Let me set you up with Marcus. He's nice. You'll like him." But Sarah hadn't mentioned the restaurant. When Marcus had texted the address yesterday, Emma's stomach had dropped. The Belmont. She had looked up the menu online. The cheapest item was a small salad for $18. Emma had almost cancelled. But something had stopped her. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe it was hope. Maybe it was just the stubborn part of her that refused to let poverty dictate every single choice she made. So she had come. And now she sat here, surrounded by people who belonged, feeling like an imposter in a beautiful painting. At the table next to hers, a man sat alone. Emma had noticed him when she arrived. Dark hair, sharp suit in charcoal grey. The kind of quiet confidence that came from never having to worry about the price of anything. He was looking at some papers, occasionally glancing up at the room, with thoughtful eyes. A waiter approached Emma's table. Young, polite, with the practiced smile of someone who had seen everything. "Good evening, miss. May I start you with something to drink?" Emma's throat felt tight. "Just water, please. I'm waiting for someone." "Of course." The waiter nodded and disappeared. Another 10 minutes crawled by. Emma checked her phone. No messages. She tried texting Marcus. "Hi, I'm here at the restaurant. Are you on your way?" The message sat there unread. Emma felt heat creep up her neck. Around her, couples leaned close over candlelit tables. Laughter drifted from a corner booth. Everyone seemed to fit perfectly into this world, except her. At the next table, the man in the grey suit looked up from his papers. Their eyes met for just a moment before Emma looked away, embarrassed to be caught alone. Her phone buzzed. Finally. But it wasn't Marcus. It was Sarah. "Emma, I'm so sorry. Marcus just texted me. He's not coming. Something about an ex-girlfriend. I'm so mad at him. Are you okay?" Emma stared at the message. The words blurred slightly. She wasn't going to cry, not here. Not in this beautiful restaurant full of people who would probably never understand what it felt like to count pennies for bus fare. She took a slow breath and typed back. "I'm fine. Heading home soon." But she didn't stand up, not yet. Because standing up meant walking past all these tables, past the hostess who had looked at her with barely concealed doubt when she arrived alone. It meant admitting that this evening had been exactly the disaster she had feared. The waiter returned with her water. "Have you decided what you'd like to order?" Emma looked at the menu in front of her. Even the appetizers were beyond her reach. "Actually," she said quietly, "I think I'll just have the water." "Thank you." The waiter's professional mask slipped for just a moment, revealing something that might have been sympathy. "Of course, miss." As he walked away, Emma heard a voice from the next table. "Excuse me." She turned. The man in the grey suit was looking at her now, his expression unreadable. "I'm sorry to intrude," he said. His voice was calm, measured, but I couldn't help overhearing. "You're waiting for someone who isn't coming?" Emma felt her face flush. "It's fine, really. I don't mean to be forward," he continued, "but I hate eating alone. And I just ordered far too much food for one person." Would you consider joining me? It seems a shame to waste a table when the restaurant is so busy. Emma blinked. Was this happening? She glanced toward the door, then back at him. I don't know, she stammered. He smiled and it transformed his whole face. I promise I'm not strange. Well, not very strange. My name is James. I'm here on business, and I could use some company that isn't related to quarterly projections. There was something genuine in his eyes. No pity, no agenda. Just a simple invitation, Emma, she said softly. My name is Emma. It's nice to meet you, Emma. Would you like to sit down? She picked up her purse, her water glass, and moved to his table. The waiter appeared immediately, as if he had been waiting for this exact moment. 2 menus, James said. Then to Emma, order anything you'd like, please. I mean it. Emma looked at the menu, her eyes scanning prices she couldn't afford. I can't. You can, James said gently. Consider it an investment in conversation. I'm paying either way, so you might as well eat something good. Over the next hour, Emma learned that James was a single father. His daughter Sophie was 9, staying with her grandmother for the evening while he attended a business dinner that had been cancelled at the last minute. She loves books, James said, his whole face lighting up when he talked about Sophie. We go to the library every week. She reads 3 or 4 books in a few days. I can barely keep up. I work at a bookstore, Emma said. Cooper's downtown. It's small, but we have a good children's section. Sophie would love that, James said. Maybe we could visit sometime. They talked about books, about the city, about the small moments that make life meaningful. James didn't ask about her date, didn't make her feel small for being stood up. Instead, he treated her like someone worth knowing. When the meal ended, James insisted on ordering dessert. The chocolate cake here is famous, he said. We should probably investigate these claims. Emma laughed, a real laugh, the first genuine one in weeks. As they shared the cake, James said quietly, Can I tell you something? Emma nodded. When I saw you sitting alone, checking your phone, looking worried, it reminded me of myself a few years ago. After my wife died, I felt lost, out of place, everywhere I went. Like I was pretending to be someone I used to be. He paused, choosing his words carefully. But I learned something. Bad moments don't define us. The person who stood you up tonight, they missed out on meeting someone remarkable, and that's their loss, not yours. Emma felt tears prick her eyes, but they were different from the ones she had held back earlier. These were tears of being seen, of being valued. Thank you, she whispered. When they finally left the restaurant, James walked her to the street. The night air was cool and clean. I'd like to see you again, James said. If that's okay. Maybe Cooper's bookstore on Saturday? Sophie would be thrilled to meet someone who loves books as much as she does. Emma smiled. I'd like that. As she rode the bus home, her phone in her pocket and $5 still in her purse, Emma felt something shift inside her. She had walked into that restaurant feeling poor in every way, but she left feeling rich in the ways that actually mattered. Sometimes the worst evenings turn into the best beginnings. Sometimes $5 is exactly enough, and sometimes the person you're meant to meet isn't the one you're waiting for at all.